Welcome to another edition of Highlander News. I'm Tucker.
And I'm Kendra.
This Valley City High School student has a passion for racing.
Reporter Sierra Pabst brings you the story.
I started racing when I was 4 years old. It was at the winter show in go-karts.
A lot of family have influenced him to compete in racing.
Well, first it was my grandpa. He started racing. Dad followed in his footsteps, and I just kind of was born into it. My grandpa, when he started racing, he was 49, and then my dad just took that number when he started racing, and I took that number after him.
For the last 3 years, Colin has been racing legend cars.
They're not very big. If you've seen them in person, they're pretty small than what you think. They go pretty fast. They go about 70, 80 miles an hour.
Racing has brought a lot of success to Colin.
My first year, I won Rookie of the Year at Jamestown Speedway. And then my second year, I won National Championship and State Championship from racing the Legends. And then this year, I got fourth in Nationals. And I also won State this year again.
There is not just competition on the track, but a competition between brothers.
I don't really think about it. I just always know I want to beat them, and I normally do. Sometimes, because I'm normally a little faster than him, so I sometimes hit him. But not normally, because that wrecks a lot of stuff.
Although he has raced on a lot of tracks, he has a favorite track.
My favorite is probably Mandan, because we've only ran there once, and it's a unique track, but I run the most at Jamestown.
Reporting for Highlander News, this is Sierra Pabst.
Reporter Breck Suffolk hits the hallways to find out what Disney princesses Valley City boys choose to be.
If you had to be any Disney princess, who would you be?
Rapunzel because she has cool hair. Cinderella because I think she's really hot.
Fiona because she's green.
Cinderella because I've seen some funny memes on YouTube.
Jasmine because she can belly dance.
Sleeping Beauty, I'm a beautiful sleeper. Mulan because she's tough and she beats guys.
Probably Belle because, I read a lot and she reads a lot.
Princess Diana, she's bad. Snow White because I like apples. Ariel because I love flapping my feet in the water.
For Highlander News, this is Breck Suffolk.
In his next edition of Showcasing Wrestling Moves, reporter Coy Griebel highlights senior Tucker Johnson and his favorite move.
The lat drop is an offensive wrestling move that requires force from the opponent and a lot of guts from the person hitting it.
I would say my favorite wrestling move is the lat drop. I've been wrestling since 5th grade, so that's about 8 years. I started doing the lat drop probably a year or two ago, but I didn't really start doing it in matches till this year. The lat drop, one of the big reasons why it's my favorite move is because it's really helped me this year win a lot of big matches, especially my state semifinals match. I used it, I think, 2 times, and it helped me win the match because I was down by a couple, and then I hit it at the end of the second period to get a takedown, and almost near fall, but I didn't get it, and then I hit it right away at the beginning of the third period to get 3 near fall and a takedown, and that kind of helped seal the match.
The lat drop is done typically in an under-overhook wrestling position. Tucker waits for his opponent to push in and then steps his feet in and falls to his back, twisting his hips and landing on top looking for the pin. Tucker was Valley City's 57th state finalist in school history. Wrestling at 132 pounds, he lost a hard-fought battle to the defending state champion in the finals. From Highlander News, this is Coy Griebel.
Reporters Olivia Ingstead and Karina Olson went down to Epworth to try their most popular drinks.
Let's check out their thoughts and opinions.
Okay, our first drink is a Carmel Macchiato. Karina's going first. That is good. Tastes like a warm hug, but cold. Okay, this is the mocha.
It's more of a dark chocolate, and I don't really like dark chocolate, but it's good. I just don't really like dark chocolate.
I would totally drink it in the morning. I'm not gonna lie, I have a bias towards these because I love Redbull infusions. So this isn't even a question that this is gonna be my favorite one, but you can go. So good. This is vanilla chai. So I love these.
Isn't
So
chai
cute.
just like hot milk?
Is it?
I don't know what chai is. It tastes.
Doesn't it taste like Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
I was about to say you know those like little cinnamon balls that you can get at Taco Bell with like the frosting in the middle?
No.
Okay, well you know what I'm talking about. It tastes like that, but without the frosting, and it's a drink. I actually went to Epworth this morning.
Did you get that?
No, I got an iced caramel latte.
Oh. That's nice. Anyways.
So
You get to say it because I can't say it.
Okay, this is the this is the white chocolate mocha. You can go first.
Okay. I like it.
This one is really sweet. Like it's more of like a sugary taste than what the iced caramel macchiato is.
Yeah, it's like good though. Like you could totally give this to somebody who doesn't like coffee.
Mhm.
They would like it.
We then gave our final thoughts.
Okay, I overall would just give the whole experience at Epworth a 10 out of 10. It was great, and the customer service was great too.
I also give Epworth a 10 out of 10. I go there pretty much every day, and all of the workers know my order and my name, and it's really embarrassing sometimes, but it's my favorite coffee place at Valley.
For Highlander News, this is Olivia.
And Karina.
Previously on Highlander News, we heard about some students who game.
Reporter Gabe Herzog talked to 2 Valley City High School teachers about their love for gaming.
I started gaming when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I had relatives that had the original Nintendo systems, so since I was a 1980s kid, we grew up playing Super Smash Brothers and a lot of the old like Ninja Turtle arcade games and things like that, and I've been gaming ever since. Some of my favorite games, I'm a huge zombie fan, so when the zombie pop culture was at its peak, I got into Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption. Call of Duty is a good franchise or a favorite franchise of mine, but you can never go wrong with old school Mario for me. I'm a classic kind of guy, so I love Nintendo. It is kind of hard to find time to game the older I've gotten, but I try to carve out, lately I've been doing like a half hour, 45 minutes every day, kind of as an unwind. But now that I have little nephews, they're getting into games and Minecraft and Mario, and so I don't think I'll ever stop gaming.
So I started gaming at a really young age. My dad started on the NES system, so NES, Super Nintendo, that era. So just having kind of that father to son relationship and always having those video games is something that I would like to pass down to my kids one day. And so we always had N64 that we played games on to start. And then my older brother had a GameCube for the longest time, and we had a Wii. And from there, I started really, really getting into online gaming when I started playing Xbox 360 with Modern Warfare 3. It was a little while after it had come out, and it just kind of went from there. So I try and game a couple times a week. I have a group of buddies that I play with from all over the world. So I have a buddy from England that I play with pretty often, Portugal. There's a couple from Norway and a couple other countries over in Europe. And then I've got my buddy that I used to live with in Fargo when I first started teaching here. We try to game probably 2 to 3 times in the weekdays, and then we always try and get one good day in the weekend where we could play probably 3-4 hours together. And yeah, we play everything from Escape from Tarkov to Rocket League. We've played Overwatch, Age of Empires 4 and 2. So we play a pretty large gambit of games, and it's been not too overly difficult for me to find time to play games while teaching, just because it's an important part of, me relaxing and enjoying life.
Reporting for Highlander News, this is Gabriel Herzog.
Ever wonder what goes on in robotics?
Reporter Teddy Hochhalter brings you the story.
Robotics is programming a machine to do something a human doesn't want to do. For our after-school robotics competition, the high school has a 12-foot by 12-foot field that has a certain game, and the game rotates every year, but it's the same game across the entire world. So the students in China are competing in the same game with the exact same criteria as we are competing in, and then eventually all the winners of their different divisions all come together at a world competition. And then same thing in junior high. There's a 6 foot by 8 foot field, and it's all plastic components. Vex IQ it's called, and again, the game changes every year, but it's the same game around the entire world. I have a robotics class that they can take, and they can get a start with it there and get a taste of it. In junior high, 8th graders all take some robotics classes, and so every 8th grader should get a little taste of it to see if it's something that they might be interested in. My favorite part is that they get to create something from nothing. So they've got, all they have is the same criteria that everybody else has. The robot has to be 18 by 18 by 18 inches or smaller than that, and they can go in a million different directions. There is no wrong answer. There's only better answers. There's faster answers, there's more economical answers, there's easier to build answers, but all the answers are right. So everybody wins.
I would say my favorite part about robotics is the team building that happens and how you can connect with your friends.
My personal favorite part about robotics would have to be spending a bunch of time with friends and doing stuff.
Probably building the robots and going to competition and competing against other towns to win.
For Highlander News, this is Teddy Holkalter.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Highliner News. I'm Kendra.
And I'm Tucker.